Hello, welcome everybody to Healthcare Systems in the U.S. My name is Professor Sarah Bonzo. Welcome to the fall semester of 2019. So to get started, it looks like most of you have had a chance to go into the Blackboard course shell. I see that a number of you have already submitted icebreakers and even have our first discussion post. So thank you for that. No pressure to the rest of the class. You're not behind. These things are not due until next Monday. So I just wanted to at least walk you through the syllabus so that you can see my face, that you can learn a little bit about what to expect in this course over the next 15 weeks. So I will be here on campus. We are in Rich Hall. My office is in Rich 250. I'm here on campus, but for most of you that doesn't mean anything because you are across the state. So for those of you that are interested in meeting with me, I also have office hours dedicated to virtual meetings. You can use this link, sarahbonzo. You can book me to go in and schedule time. Right now, I've just got my office hours listed on Wednesday. I will always be available during those office hours remotely if that doesn't work for you, which in many cases it won't. So for those of you that are working or have families, if you need to meet at a later time, if you even need to meet on the weekend sometimes, that can be a little bit more difficult with me, with family, but I'm certainly happy to accommodate your schedule as best I can. So if you'd like to meet, and actually there are 2 required meetings with me, virtual meetings. If Wednesdays don't work for you, just shoot me an email and we'll figure out another time that works around your schedule. So on Zoom, this is what I'm using right now to record this video and to show you and walk you through the syllabus. We'll be using Zoom for this class. That's how I have virtual meetings. It's also how you'll be doing your presentations at the end of the semester. It's a great tool. Most companies that I work with now are using Zoom, switching from kind of GoToMeeting to Zoom as their preferred platform for remote meetings. It's great, super useful. So hopefully, if you don't already use Zoom, that this is going to be something that's also going to add to your skill set. So in terms of the course, what to expect, while we do have 2 synchronous meetings one-on-one, there is no course meeting time. So it is completely asynchronous, but in the syllabus, I will walk through what I expect in terms of the content that's going to be covered each week and your deliverables in terms of discussions and assignments and the final course research paper and presentation. I am generally in Blackboard every day, logging in and looking to see what people have posted. I try my best to get grades back to you within a week. Sometimes with the discussions, it can be a little bit harder because they're so in-depth. And typically in past years, I've found that the level of discussion posts has been absolutely excellent. So it does take me time to get through them. There is information in Blackboard in terms of what I expect for discussions, but to get full credit, I am really looking for you to go deep with the content, to kind of bring new ideas to the table, and also to have references. This is, I think, a key piece that a number of students miss out on maybe the first or second discussion, is that I'm really looking for you to do research and not just reference kind of pop articles, but also go through and look at journal articles, peer-reviewed journal articles that are out there, and some more legitimate sources to help back up your stance or something that you find interesting. As long as you have a couple of those in there, then you should be good. Again, there is a rubric in the my expectations component of what to expect for discussions and how I will be grading them. If you have questions, please let me know, but typically I try to go through in detail after the first discussion post to give you some feedback and help course correct if needed. So I've got information in the syllabus about the course description, but really this is the introductory course for MBA in Health Services Administration. I serve as the program coordinator for this course. In addition to teaching health systems, I also teach managerial epidemiology, and I also teach operations management at both the grad and undergrad level. Being an introductory course, we're going to cover a lot of different content as it relates to healthcare systems and delivery. So each one of the sections each week, I mean, it could be a full course in and of itself. So we're really going to be scratching the surface, but making sure that you have a certain level of comfort with the concepts, with the terminology, and really understand historically how we've evolved to get to this point where it is so complex. We won't go into a lot about, the different kind of the different political parties and what they think may make our healthcare system better. I'm sure that it will come up in the discussion post. So what I will ask of you is to please be respectful. If somebody has a different viewpoint on where we should be going and why we should be doing it, as long as you are pulling in research, state your opinion and just have respectful discussions back and forth, because there's a lot of different avenues that we could take, and clearly there's not one best one. It's really complicated. So we're going to be kind of diving into how it's evolved over time, where we might be going, a lot of the new terminology that we'll be hearing about in terms of population health initiatives, value-based purchasing, these things that are really going to be kind of driving the direction that we go. Transparency, we're seeing a lot of mergers and acquisitions. So we're going to focus on the fundamentals, but then start to get into some of these bigger pieces and how we all fit in. There are no prerequisites in terms of required courses, but basic spreadsheet Excel skills will be beneficial to you. If you struggle in this area, let me know, and I will try to pass along some additional materials to help support you. We've got some great tutorials that are free, available through lynda.com, which we have a subscription through our Penfield library. So if you're concerned about it, let me know. We won't be doing anything too intense this semester, but we will be getting into some more intense Excel-based work in managerial epidemiology. So it's best, if you're worried about it, just let me know and we'll work on getting you up to speed this semester. So this is something that is relatively new to including in the syllabus, is our programmatic competencies. It's what we want as a program level for both myself and Dr. Thornton, who teaches our other MBA HSA courses, the things that make our program strong and where they're going to be reinforced in different courses. So you'll see we've got 13 core competencies that we want to achieve at our program, so that when you graduate, you can with certainty say that you are proficient in these different areas. So you'll see here that I go through each of the competencies that are going to be, we touch on 11 out of the 13 core competencies in this course. So some of them are just introducing them so that you're understanding some of the core concepts, and others I'm going to be looking for you to start applying the concepts that we're talking about to either the organization where you work, or trying to partner with a facility that's near you to try to apply some of these concepts. We're going to do a lot of the application pieces around process improvement, patient safety, understanding metrics, and using metrics to drive operational improvement. So here is the meat of the course and what I want you to be most familiar with in the course syllabus. So our course schedule. So each week, so today, Monday, August 26th, we're going to be starting the content on historical foundations of healthcare and health in the U.S. This corresponds to certain chapters in the textbook, which She and Singh is kind of the go-to textbook for health systems. So I would strongly encourage you, if you haven't already done so, order the text. I would suggest that you might want to consider, if you don't want to spend all the money for the newest edition, to look at an older edition. I won't be using any of the text questions, so you don't have to be concerned about differences in the different editions. The content is, for the most part, the same. The newer editions talk about the Affordable Care Act, but in my experience, what I found is that a lot of their discussion of the ACA, they were writing it, it was very early in its infancy, so I don't find that it adds a whole lot more to the text, so don't be concerned about getting an older version. Again, your icebreaker is due September 2nd, along with your first discussion post. If you have questions or concerns as you're starting on this, don't hesitate to reach out to me via email. Again, I'll be giving you feedback on discussion 1, more so to really kind of help bolster any areas that any gaps between my expectations and what you post for discussion 1. All of the discussions, you will not see anybody else's response until you post. So you're going to have to just bite the bullet and go for it and make that first post, and then you'll be able to see everybody else's post. With the discussions, a portion of the grade also requires you to give feedback or respond to one of your classmates' posts. So please make sure that you do that. And I'm also looking for this to be a rigorous response. So please make sure you're including references, citing some of the things that you're saying. So many of the students that we have in the program and in this class have a ton of experience, professional experience. Some of you are physicians or pharmacists, have clinical backgrounds. Some of you have been in administration for quite some time. So if you're pulling things into your discussion based on your experience, please reference that and try to be as specific as possible with your experiences by giving examples of what happened, what the outcome was, and all of those supporting details. So we'll be going through, again, a lot of different content, an overview of the healthcare system, paying for healthcare. Again, each of these is so intense and could be a course in and of itself, but I'm really looking forward to, for you to get comfortable with the terminology. So again, doing the reading, going through the content that I've included in Blackboard, you should be all set. I test your understanding of the content based on your responses, obviously, to this discussions. We'll have some assignments in there that will be more multiple choice. This is more of a self-check for you to make sure that you're understanding the material as well. We'll have an exam towards the end of September. The way I structure the exams is that they'll be open for the entire week, and you can go in, you can start it, you can save it, and you can come back to it. You can use all of your course materials. I ask you, it must be completed independently, but besides that, you are welcome to use all of the course materials. I'll try to, since this is a graduate course, it is going to be more on the critical thinking aspect. So how do you take the courses that or the concepts that we've covered and apply them in a challenging situation? And again, bringing in some of the rigor in your discussion posts to, can you reference, bringing in some references even to your posts in the exams. I'll get more to that as the time gets closer, but if you have questions or concerns about any of the exams, please reach out to me and let me know as soon as possible. So I have this semester is kind of a reset that Dr. Thornton and I have been doing and going through and making sure that we're reinforcing the concepts that really make our program unique. Some of the data analytics, data visualization, some lean thinking, process improvement components, patient safety that we know are important to every health system. These are areas of my expertise, so I'm in the process of kind of revamping some of these modules on lean thinking and measurement. So if you go in there and you don't see content now, don't worry. I am kind of organizing it and will be posting all of that content probably within the next couple of weeks, but shouldn't have to worry about that probably until early October. But for some of you who I know were going through all of the course modules, if you didn't see some content there, that's why. So towards the end of the semester, we'll have our second Zoom call, and this brings me back, I think I failed to mention, I'll be emailing. I want you to all schedule some time with me, just 15 minutes, just so we can say hello, so I can learn a little bit more about your background. There are a couple familiar names on the class list this year, but for the most part, a number of new names. So getting that chance for us to meet is really important. Later in the semester, we'll have our second meeting where we'll have 30 minutes, and I want to go through in detail what you're thinking about working on for your research project or your paper for the end of the semester, as well as your presentation. So in preparation for that meeting, I'd like for you to submit your proposal on what you want to work on and why. I'll give more information as we get closer to that deadline in terms of what I'm looking for your draft. But that will be our second one-on-one meeting. And then we'll have Thanksgiving recess, and at the end of the semester, we'll have a second exam, and then your final deliverable will be that research paper and a presentation. The presentation is unique. You'll see a lot of details in there. It's a 3-minute presentation, which is really difficult to do, to condense down everything that you put into your research paper into 3 minutes. But it's a skill that we're going to continue to, that you're going to see reinforced throughout the course of the program, this 3-minute thesis or this 3-minute pitch, where again, distilling whatever you're talking about down to the most important concepts, generating interest, and kind of leaving people hanging on what to do next. So we're going to start practicing that in this class as well. Means of evaluation, you can see the point breakdown here in terms of the allocation to discussion assignments and cases, the exams, the research paper, and the 3-minute presentation. So nothing too surprising here at the end of the syllabus. Again, where I want you to focus is just making sure that you're comfortable with these due dates. I have gone in Blackboard and I reinforce them in each module. I have these due dates as well. But if you're concerned about something, if you have something come up professionally or personally, and you're concerned about meeting a deadline, please just reach out to me and let me know, and I'm happy to work with you one-on-one to support you if needed. Again, I look forward to working with you all throughout the semester. If you can, set up a Zoom call with me. If Wednesdays don't work, just shoot me an email and let me know what day and time would work best for you. Look forward to having a great semester with you all.